Hi, this is Roslynn Eve, and we are looking at three-dimensional shadowing today. We're also going to be taking a look at cast shadows and how they work too. Okay, so this is especially good for artists that are using their imagination, but for any artist that wants to add three-dimensional look to their work. And three-dimensional shadowing is an ingredient in my book. Okay, so this is the shape that we're looking at today, and I'm going to add to the pyramid here sand and of course blue sky. And so now that will help us with the shadow of the cast shadowing part. And just so that you understand that right now we have very harsh, sharp edges on this shape. So if we wanted to do subtle shadowing, then we would want to round these out, because in real life a pyramid is more worn along the sharp edges there, so it's going to be more rounded. So how do you go about showing that artistically? Now this is all just roughed in, it's not perfect photographic anything, so just to give you all the idea. So we're going to round out these edges, and this is how we do it. You see the difference? I'm going to take it away. You see how we've rounded out the edges? Okay, so how did we do that? If you look closer here, you can see that I'm changing the color from this color on this side to this color on this side. See how I've graduated it? Slightly darker, and then darker, and then darker, and then the back part here. So that's how you go about making something round, is you just keep working on subtly changing it, the color more towards the darkest point. So it depends on how intense the light is too. If it's just soft lighting, you're going to have not as dark of a transition. Just like if it's very early in the morning. So let's go to this next part here. And I'll take it back smaller again so you can see. So this is where the direction of the light is coming from, is what we're showing you. So it's coming from this left side, and it is hitting mostly let's get the handout so you can see where I'm pointing. From this left side, then it's going across here, the light. That's the sun. And it's hitting this far side that's behind here that you can't see. And this side is going to be shadowed as well, because the sun is more hitting this way, and a little bit is coming around this side because the light is on the side. So this side you can't see will be the lightest. This side is the second lightest. And then these two, this one and the one on that side, is going to be more shadowed. Okay, so that is shadowing. Okay, and the transitions here of your shadow to make it curved or three-dimensional, that's how that works. Now, how do we do cast shadows, you ask? Okay, well here is, if the sun is in this position and we're still going with the direction of the light here, then it's going to be the biggest shadow is first thing in the day, and it could even be bigger than that. So as the sun comes up higher, this shadow is going to get smaller, but also notice that the shadow is darkest right here. Now why is that? Because light is diffused. You're not just seeing light hitting one part, this little side here of the object. You'll notice that you can see when you move around the object that it's still hitting on this side too, because the light just kind of goes around things. So this cast shadows this is the shape. It's blocking the light. So because it's blocking the light, it's keeping it from hitting the sand right in behind the pyramid. So where is a cast shadow? Always on the opposite side of where the light is. Also, where is the shadowing in general? Notice again that it's always the opposite, darkest at the opposite side of where the light is. Okay, so now let's just show you what happens as the sun moves up this way. And we'll go back to the arrow here. So as the sun moves up, then the light's going to be hitting. So let's say this is your sun here. That's why that circle's there. And we'll put this back at 100%. Down the size of that a bit, I guess. Okay. So if this is the sun, then the sunlight is going to now be shining a little bit more in a downward direction like this, which means some of the light is going to disperse over top of this. So this shadow can't stay that long anymore. So we would be looking at a shorter shadow, maybe like this, depending on exactly where in the sky it is. So the shadow goes from here to there because of the direction of the light. Okay, so then what happens when the sun gets all the way to the top, you ask? All right, well, once the sun gets all the way up here, then it's shining light on all sides equally, so there is no shadow. So we got to get rid of that shadow. So depending on where the light source is, like let's say you're doing a painting where the light is coming in the window, you have to be aware of that. What's the direction of the light? And if there's more than one light in the room, that's how they get some of these fancy shadows on people's skin and stuff, is because they're showing two separate light sources. So be aware of where the light's coming from, if there's more than one light source, and if there's cast shadows, because usually there is, to some extent, some cast shadows. If this was a round object, we would be looking at a totally different occurrence. Now, let's just say, we'll just take this extra moment here, and we'll go, let's say the light is coming from this side. Okay, now you guys are going to answer this, right? Let's say the light's coming from behind us over our left shoulder there, and it's hitting this side. Then this side is going to be the lightest. So where is the shadow going to be then, if this is the lightest side? Well, then the shadow, if the dirt was up this high, then the shadow would be coming out, you got it, on the opposite side. So this would be on the sand, because this would be all sand colored there. So this is the sand behind the pyramid. Good job. All right. Okay, so that's how it all works, and this is me. Now, keep in mind that when we're looking at these things, where shadows are and if they're cast shadows and what kind of shadows you got going on there, that's shadowing is one ingredient of the 40 ingredients in my book, and one of the things that we look for in artwork. Is it looking three-dimensional or not? Did the artist decide to choose to include that ingredient in their work, or are they doing flat shapes, which you can do too? Okay, so that's me. That's my address. That's where you can find my Facebook page, and I sell my book there in an email download. So there is no, shipping and handling with that. It's just I get to download it. So the cost is the cost. Currently $20. And if you do want an in-print copy, you can get one from Amazon Books online. And do keep in mind that it's going to cost a lot more, but for those of you that love to hold a book in your hand, it's an awesome book. We're talking 8 by 10 inches, so like it's a large book that way, plus it's 265 pages, so it's a thicker book. And to top it all off, there's over 400 color photo examples that are before and after examples. So if you want a bit of a thud factor, the book does have that. And but just keep in mind that inks are very expensive, so it's quite expensive to purchase the actual imprint book. Okay, so that's it for today. Please, if you do like it, then hit the like button, and if you want to subscribe and see more of these, of course you can hit the subscribe. That's great. But also do please visit my Facebook page, because I do have all these cool, fun links to other art videos and like glass gardens, tourist attractions that are art related, art articles, art analysis that I've done, all kinds of neat stuff on there. So it's all free to enjoy. Okay, well, thank you and have a great day. Okay, bye for now.